Alrighty guys, welcome to week 5. I'm trying on a new device, so hopefully this works a little better, it's a little more clear. I don't know about how well the mic is going to work though, so hopefully it works. And of course, if you ever have any questions about anything I talk about, be sure to ask. One, via the discussion board with the questions, and two, if we meet this week, or if I meet with you this week, then feel free to ask any questions. Now the first thing we're going to talk about, we need to go over MLA formatting, but I'm not talking about the actual paper. It seems like just about everybody had the paper pretty well formatted. The biggest errors that I found were the header where it has your last name and page number. Make sure that's 12-point font and make sure that's still Times New Roman. Other than that, it looks like everybody had everything pretty well structured and pretty well formatted in MLA formatting. The only thing that you need to start worrying about now is that we're going to be using sources. So when you're citing sources, the very first thing that everyone always asks is what's the difference between, and let me see, can you guys see that very well? Yeah, that looks pretty good. What's the difference between a works cited and a reference page? Well, a works cited, that's what you call a citation page in MLA. If you call it references, that refers to APA formatting, and that's not what we're doing. So you don't want references, you want works cited. Now, whenever you're writing a works cited page, let me give myself some more room here. The works cited page, imagine this is a giant piece of paper here. Of course, in the center, you'll have works cited. Up here, you'll have your last name and page number. But after that, you're going to have to cite your sources based on what type of format it is. So if you have a book citation is going to be different than a website citation, which is also going to be different than a periodical or a journal. Let's see, what else? A video. These are all different methods of citation. There are literally hundreds of different ways to cite stuff. There are different mediums. And that's what I'm talking about. Each of these is a different medium. So when you hear me refer to what's the medium, I'm asking, is it a book? Is it a website? Is it periodical? Is it an electronic source? Is it a print source? What is it? Are you talking about a film? That's what I'm talking about when I say medium. So there are literally hundreds of different mediums that you could cite. So I'm obviously not going to go over all of them in this video. I'm going to go over the basic format for a book, because I'm assuming that most people will use books or something close to that. And so if you want to do some of these that are not books, or maybe you have a journal or a movie or video, periodical, whatever, make sure you're checking out the OWL at Purdue. And the way that you find, oops, looks like my screen stopped sharing there. You go to Google and you will actually just type in OWL at Purdue. You don't necessarily need the at symbol. You can just type OWL Purdue in Google. And as a matter of fact, let me just show you. If I bring up this, if you go to Google and you type in OWL Purdue, as a matter of fact, why don't you add OWL Purdue MLA? That'll keep you away from the APA citations. So as soon as it loads up, now you have MLA formatting, MLA works cited page basic. So when you come to this page, when it loads, this is the Purdue University Online Writing Lab, and over here on the left-hand side, you can see that all of these citations are the different mediums that you can use to cite a source. They're the basic rules, they're books, and here's an example of a book, here's a periodical, kind of gives you the basic example for that. And worst case scenario, you have no idea really what it's supposed to look like at the end of the day, go to the MLA sample paper. And sometimes it'll pop up down here in this blank region, but if it doesn't, you can go up to MLA sample paper right here where it says media file, and you can click on that, it'll actually open the file in your browser. Once you get there, you can scroll all the way down to the works cited page, and you can get a good idea of what does it really look like, what should it look like whenever I'm done with it. And so here's this person's works cited page. And so you can see how it starts off with works cited and it kind of goes down here. Now, the one that I'm going to use is just the simple book format. And if there are other mediums that you would like to use, don't hesitate. Sorry, my mouse isn't working. There we go. Don't hesitate to use the OWL at Purdue to answer your own questions. Of course, if you ask me, I'll help. But I think one of the ways that I've always used learning this is using the OWL at Purdue, going to the website and looking at it firsthand. What does it look like whenever I'm done with it? So going back to our prompt here, we have the works cited page. Now, if you're doing a book, the very first thing you're going to want is the last name. Last name first, because the idea behind this is for you to have what they call an in-text citation. Within your paper. And so that is, if you give a fact in your introduction and you say the definition of abortion is XYZ, well, you need to give an in-text citation immediately following that fact so that the readers know you got it from somewhere else. And so if you had in your paper, let me make sure you guys can see this. You see over here? Good. Let's say that you had in your paper the definition for abortion. Blah, 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 blah. Abortion is killing babies. Okay, let's say that that's what you say. You don't just stop that by putting a period at the end. Instead, you give what's called an in-text citation. In parentheses, you would put the last name of the individual, of the author who wrote this. In this case, I'll use myself. And then you put the page number from where you got that fact. So if you were reading my book and it said that on page 5, it would be Lee 5. And then the period. That shows the reader that whenever I see this information, I can scroll down to your works cited page and I'm looking for Lee. And so that's the citation that I need to look at if I want to see this actual information firsthand. Because by citing it, you're saying I took this from somewhere else. And if I look at it and I'm saying, I don't think you're telling the truth, or maybe I don't think you interpreted that right, or maybe just generally, I'd like to know more about that. You look at Lee, you come down to your works cited page, you find the last name of the author you're looking for, and it'll tell you all you need to know to find that book on your own so you can read more about it. So your last name first, and then whoever, the first name of the person that wrote it. Period. And so, make sure I'm good here, okay? At this point, it now becomes a hanging indent. So there is, you will set it up via Word. I can't do it on this this document, I don't think. Let me see if I can pull Word up and show you guys. Okay, well, if you have trouble doing a hanging indent, I can show you how to do that later, and I'll post a video online. But nonetheless, you'll have a hanging indent, and basically it just means that there's going to be a giant space there. And so there'll be a blank there, and you'll go into starting the title. The title of the book is in italics, so this is my attempt at writing in italics. Oops. So you write the title of the book, and then make sure you put the italics, and after you finish each section, you put a period at the end. Once you're done with that, now you're going to give the city in which the text was published, or in this case, the book. And now that could be anywhere. It could be New York, it could be London, it could be just about anywhere. That's just the city of the publisher. Then you have a colon, which are the 2 dots, and you actually have the publisher's name. Let's see, some common publishers, Sage, Pearson, whoever published it, their name goes in this area, followed by a comma and the year that it was published. So if it was published in 2007, then you would write 2007. You have a period here, and then you go into the medium. As I said before, the medium is either it's a book, a website, periodical, but you don't actually write book or periodical or journal or textbook or magazine. You would just write print or electronic or HTML, whatever that might be. Okay, sorry about that. Someone came into the room. Let's see. So the medium, that's going to be print or HTML or whatever form that is. It's not necessarily going to be these. You're really just restricted to print or HTML. Where'd you get it? Did you get it offline or did you get it in a print form? That kind of makes things a little easier. So let me give you an example of what this looks like when you're done. Let's use this Lee 5, for example. It becomes Lee, comma, Michael. Now, something that is particular to the MLA is that you would actually spell out the person's full first name. In APA, you don't do that, and several others. So in MLA, you're writing out their full last name, full first name, period, and then the title of the book, we'll just call it Abortions, and that should be in italics, period, and then the city of the publisher. Let's say I was published, where am I now, St. Louis? St. Louis, Missouri. You use the colon, and the publisher will be Sage Publishing, period, 2015, period, it was published this year, and then the medium, print. And so that would be a proper citation for a book. Now, I think that's just about everything that goes with the citation part of it. I'm going to stop this video, and that way this can just be about doing citations and in-text citations. The next video I'm going to do is going to be on using outside information and how to really integrate the stuff that you take from outside books and journals and websites and things like that. So again, if you have any questions from here, you go to Google, you type in OWL, Purdue, MLA, and then you go to the OWL at Purdue website. Sorry, my screen keeps going black. The OWL at Purdue website, and it will give you the rundown of every type of citation that you would ever really need to do. And so if you're not using a book, go to the website, check out the journal, check out the website, check out whatever it is you want to do. That way I don't spend a video going over hundreds of citations. So thanks, and have a good rest of the week.